As well as having the potential to track down absent dads, the recent popularity in DNA tests has uncovered a surprising statistic. Around 1 in 50 people do not have the biological father they think they have. 53-year-old Richard has recently discovered that he's not blood related to the man who raised him.
What a treat to come down here.
It's nice, isn't it?
Last time I visited Devon, I was 9 or 10 years old. Beautiful. So your father, the man that brought you up, you always thought he was your biological father?
Yes, yeah, but he was a very good father. You know, I had some very good times with my father and my dad, yeah. So as far as I know, he was my dad. He was smart, always smart. Ladies always liked him. Old Spice kind of stuff, you know, the old Brute and all that. Yeah, I remember that as a kid because I still use some of that Old Spice myself. Yeah, that brings back memories, yeah.
In the summertime, when the weather is high, you can stretch right up.
We used to go to the beach now and again when he had a day off work. Just going to have a little kick about along the beach. Have the odd ice cream and that, if you're lucky, come the end of the day.
After both of Richard's parents passed away, Richard was contacted by a man named Raymond, claiming that he'd been in a relationship with Richard's mother and thought he might be Richard's biological father. A DNA test with Richard's sister proved they were only half-siblings and that the man he always believed was his dad wasn't.
To find out my dad isn't my dad, it's a shock to the system. Now I'm like, all my life has been like a play. All the fond memories I had of him, it's just, it's like, did he know? I wonder if he knew. And this is where the story gets more complicated because I thought, you know, that's it, it's just me and my sister, but now there could be more to it.
Richard's potential biological father, Raymond, is unwell and unable to meet him. But Raymond does have a son, which means Richard could also have a half-brother. Testing their DNA is the only way to find out.
When this guy said, I think I might be your father, how do you digest that kind of information?
I don't know, I really don't know, to be honest with you. So I'm really bloody all over the place, really, until I know for certain.
So you're now in a situation where you're 53 years old, both your folks have passed.
Yeah.
So you can't ask either of them many questions.
No.
And you must have thousands of questions. Does it feel all-consuming, this news that's been thrown onto you? Do you think about it a lot?
Yeah, when I'm on my own, I do. Plays on my mind. I know there's might be a possible brother involved there, so that would be interesting.
Do you want him to be your brother?
Yeah, it would be quite nice. You know, I've just grown up like with a sister, so it would be quite nice to know if he's a brother and that there. You know, go out and maybe have a beer or something, you know, and you know, a little chat and, you know, chinwag or whatever.
I suppose this is such fresh information as well, right? So you're just trying to digest it all and...
Sometimes you wish it was a straight bloody road and then you might be better off, you know?
So Richard, you know, in an ideal world, right, what are you hoping to find out?
Well, I'm hoping to find if this is my brother.
Yeah, that would be like the next step, I suppose.
Well, a big leap, really, isn't it, I would say. I think you should go and buy an ice cream, Stacey, as it goes.
I'll get us an ice cream. I can easily get us an ice cream.
undergoing genetic testing with Chori and our team.
Come sit down.
They'll be able to discover who is his biological father and if he might also have a half-brother.
Richard, how can I help you? What would you like to know?
I'd like to know where I'm from, really, because I found out not too long ago that my dad wasn't my dad. So after 50 years or so now, I'd like to know who my dad is.
So the fact that you have found out that the person that you thought was your father may not be your father, you are definitely not alone. So my research has shown that historically you get higher rates of this happening. It tends to be in cities. Okay, so let's do your family tree. So you've got Mum and Dad, who is the question mark at the moment.
Yeah.
So the way you inherit your DNA, it's kind of like a pack of cards. So each parent has a pack of cards and they shuffle it up and they give you half. So your pack of cards is a mixture, half each from them. When you have a sibling, a full sibling, they do the same process again. So half of the DNA that you carry is going to be the same as your sister, which is why when you see siblings, you can see they're related because they share half their DNA. Now, you might have a half-brother.
Yes.
Okay. So when we are doing the genetic analysis, what I'm going to be looking for is, do you share about a quarter of your DNA with this person, which would suggest that this story, that they are a half-sibling, is correct. Have you met your potential half?
No, I haven't.
So do you know how he feels about this? Because he must be going through a similar thing to you.
Yeah,
I mean, he
wonder if
must
he thinks
equally
what's thinking.
wonder.
Well, the first time I heard about Richard, I got a message from my dad, which was just 3 photographs and nothing else. I looked at the photographs. It looked like me. So and I was trying to work out what was going on. A day later, I got a series of messages from my dad. The first one said, "Hi, Brendan. There is a good chance this could be your older brother. His name is Richard." I might have a half-brother that I haven't known about for 50-odd years. It'd be difficult to try and catch up, to say, you know, what have you been up to, mate? Even if Richard and myself turn out to be polar opposites, we're still family. I was brought up to never trust a Tory. If he turns out to be a Tory, you know, I'll even set that aside. I'll deal with that as it comes up.
Richard is still waiting for the results of his DNA tests that he hopes will uncover who is his biological father. He's decided to finally meet Brendan, who may be his half-brother.
Yeah, I won't lie, there's a little bit of nerves there, but yeah, quite excited. I just go with the flow when we start talking, I suppose. I don't know really what to say until I see him, so it's like a weird first date. I see him. Quite big, isn't he?
It's a beard.
He's got a beard, man. Oh, no, look.
And somebody that walks just like my dad.
Oh, mate. Now it gets weird. Nice shirt.
Yeah, nice beard.
Thanks, mate.
Good to see you.
Yeah, you. Oh, mate, look at his beard. All right. Get well?
Yeah, cool.
Oh, mate. Yeah, I don't know, it's a little bit...
Like looking in the mirror.
Good drive down?
Yeah, it was all right, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, sound, yeah.
Nuts.
Ah.
Nuts.
So, what to say?
Hey?
How you been for the last 50 odd years? All right.
50 odd years, oh mate.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot to catch up on anyway.
God, tell me about it.
Yeah.
There is a lot. Nuts, isn't it? It is, isn't it?
It must be like for you, more of a shock than me, because obviously I know my family and where I come from and everything like that, do you know?
Yeah. Well, I won't lie, I was quite gobsmacked, to be honest with you. It's say in your 50s and then bang, you get smacked round the chops with this, and it's like, bloody hell, what?
When I saw you walking up along the beach towards that bridge,
Yeah.
the way that you walked and the way that you moved reminded me so much of my dad. You know, it was like looking at him walking towards me. The way you hold your shoulders,
Right.
if you don't mind me saying, slightly curved back.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, I mean, like eerily similar. I thought, yeah, it's definitely
Oh, wow.
genetically. There's definitely something there because I recognise that walk. If I'd put my cards on the table and I'd say we're related.
Related, yeah.
Definitely, yeah. If it turns out that we're not related, then you know they say everyone has got a doppelganger, and we've just chanced upon a doppelganger. Coming down here though, when you was driving here, when you was on your way, how did you feel about it? And I was sort of thinking how different things can be in life, you know? All the times that we could have been there for each other have never happened.
That's exactly, yeah.
no.
You think, well, been all them years ago, then you would have been brought up together. You know, I obviously would have been older than you, wouldn't I? And
Look serious. Look like that, inquisitive. Hello everyone, this is Richard.
This is Brendan,
Long lost brother, potentially.
the older one.
No big issue, thanks, mate.
No, no.
Richard's asked Brendan to join him for his DNA test results. Tori has been analysing both of their genetic codes to determine if they actually are half-brothers.
Hello, mate.
all right.
How are you? We haven't met.
No, we've not met, have we?
If they are, it means that Richard will finally know who is his biological father, because it will be the same as Brendan's.
The plan is, Rich, you're going to go next door, have a chat with Tori, and then are you all right to come back in and let us know?
Yeah.
All right.
Hello. Actually, your case turned out to be really complicated. It took huge amounts of research for us to get to a point for you. But I know that your really big question was whether or not this man who contacted you was actually your biological father. And he had a son, didn't he, Brendan? So the question is, are you half brothers? Okay, results. When we looked at your DNA, you didn't share a quarter of your DNA. And if you look at your Y chromosomes, they are totally different. So you are definitely not related. You don't have the same father. So I know it's not quite the answer that you were hoping for, and it's certainly not as, I mean, as a team, we would have loved.
Isn't it? This is completely
Yeah.
different to any. Oh, man.
Not expecting this at all.
No. Yeah, I thought there was quite a bit of similarities here, to be honest with you.
I think that's the thing, though. The DNA is a poor reflection of that kind of emotional connection that you can get with somebody.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We've got more news for you.
Okay.
So the other thing, obviously, we were doing was we were looking in these DNA databases, and we're looking for people whose DNA you match. So we did that, and we came across a couple of paternal cousins. And that led us to a woman called Ellen Charlotte Sell. She was born in 1912. She is your paternal grandmother. So we have got Ellen. She married a man called Alfred, and they had 5 sons. It's hard to say for sure, but after speaking to one of your cousins, we think that her 3rd son, John, is your biological father. He was born in 1946. Sadly, he passed away in his 50s from lung cancer in 1988. We can't absolutely confirm that he is your biological father because he didn't have any children that we can use to test your DNA against to be absolutely sure.
Oh, mate. Oh, I don't know.
It's a lot of information all in one go.
Oh, thanks for that, Julie.
You're welcome.
Thanks. Right.
All right.
Hello.
Let's go. Yeah, it's they've gone in with your dad's side. There's like DNA in there, so it'd be like from your dad, it would go in either side to us, but it's not.
That's a surprise.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So what do you? I don't know.
How are you feeling, Brendan?
I'm feeling quite emotional. I'm a bit sad that we're not related. But, you know, I was hoping that we
I thought we
We
was.
were.
Yeah, I did. I thought we was
Yeah.
when we was. And then, my grandmother,
Yeah.
this is mine, she married an Alfred. They believe they had some five kids between them. And John was my dad.
Richard, I've got a couple of photos actually that I wouldn't mind showing you if that's all right.
Really? Okay.
Okay, so that's your grandmother.
Good God. And these are the kids? Or was it-
That's it, that's right, and
Which one is John?
this is John. Up with the dark hair.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, that's who we think your father is. John. Okay,
Well, I mean,
John. My name is Graham. I think that's your dad. It's a lot to digest, isn't it?
Right, Bram. Do I look like him?
I mean, if he had a shaved head and a beard, maybe he'd look more similar.
What's the plan with you two in terms of your relationship going forward?
We'll stay friends.
Yeah, yeah.
Keep in touch anyway. Let them know what's happening. mate, you know.
yeah.
And do you know what? You two, you aren't biologically related, but there is a bond there, and you are fond of one another, and you have had a really great time getting to know each other.
Yeah.
But that doesn't have to change, you know what I mean? You can still be good pals and...
No. I can have a nice gin and tonic after this. I can tell
Double.
you. Kicking the bollocks, really. Well, I wasn't expecting that. Was not expecting that.
I'm shocked. I thought that this was just a formality. It was going to be a rubber stamp and that we were going to say, all right, welcome to the family. But, you know, just because it's turned out the way it has, it doesn't, you know, erase that sort of shared experience through this. And we'll stay friends.
He's a lovely bloke, this Brendan. As far as I'm concerned, we will always be brothers.